Hello everyone, Deathmatch 15 here, and today, the 11th of March, Wednesday, is going to be the last day of the current Northern Parliament event. Because of this, if you haven't gotten all your Russian ships yet, or still wanna grind up some more points for the exchange shop, now would be the day to do so, because you won't have your chance after this until the rerun. I personally do not own all the ships, so I'll be building a couple here along with the point of the video today. I will be playing the stage known as 3D D3 on the hard mode of Northern Overture Part 2. This stage will come many hardships. The joint coalition pierces deep into the heart of the Silent Stronghold. What awaits them there is. As you can see, I've played this a lot to the point where I have its threat down to safe, which, to say the least, isn't easy. I believe you have to play it 14 times and beat the boss 14 times. Now, I've not done any of my daily stuff. Today is basically the first time, or right now is basically the first time that I'm logging on for today. So I do have a bit of things to do before we actually head on to the combat part of the video, where I will be clearing D3. So for D3, the enemies in it do go up to around level 100. They're not easy, though. You don't need level 110 ships to beat it. You could probably do it with level 100 ships if you are using your health correctly and overall are just bringing the right ships with you. Didn't get what I want. Oh well. But for this, I will be the fleet that I will be using for this in particular. I will be using two fleets. On the mob fleet, I will be running. I will have Yorktown for basically the same reason I had her in my other video, beating EX mode. She buffs your Vanguard's damage, and for Vengeance skill, if she's hit, also does a decent amount of damage. Unicorn to heal the front line. Gascon, because I'm trying to level her up. She buffs all the cruisers, and then San Diego retrofit, because she's broken as all hell. As for my boss fleet, I'm gonna have Formidable for her don't move an inch skill. I have Warspite retrofit, because, well, it's also broken as hell, and overall insane firepower. Alabama, for her frontal barrage and overall damage. Tago, because I'm trying to currently get Ibuki and I need the XP from her. Kawakaze for torpedoes, and Rune because she's the boss killer. Submarine fleet, same as last time. Cavella, Albacore, and ours I'm using. And we'll go ahead and jump in. So for this, you're going to need to defeat 6. Well, guess I should show what this is like when it's not on clearing mode. Clearing mode makes it where the siren fleets, the siren ships, won't come after you, and you have no. You're going to need to defeat 6 mob fleets before the boss unlocks. I like to fight all the sirens in my submarines area for obvious reasons. Obvious reason, of course, having the submarines help on it. I'll probably auto these first few. Lag as everything loads in. Such a pain sometimes. This siren is one of the easier ones because its attack patterns are predictable and aren't hard to dodge at all. You really don't need a very strong fleet. These ships going against it, to be completely honest. Keep in mind that you do only get the points for the event whenever you defeat the boss. So there's very little reason in killing additional after you've completed the limit needed for one of your stars and for the bosses in general. Keep in mind that's something you should utilize. If you are going to use aircraft carriers, while battleships do much more consistent damage, aircraft carriers, when you use their abilities, do clear the screen of enemy projectiles and torpedoes, meaning that while battleships at the most of the time damage, aircraft carriers can play a lot more defensively, especially if you have a already defensive aircraft carrier. In this case, I have Unicorn in Yorktown. Unicorn is already a support slash defense carrier because she has a healing strikes. And early game, because I'm pretty sure a lot of you Storm players out there with your in early game, aircraft carriers do amazingly well. If you have Enterprise, though most other aircraft carriers will work just as well, they do an absolutely amazing. The early game enemy ships do not have very much AA. Isn't to say that they have none at all, but that they do have is just so minuscule that it really cannot stop entire fields of your planes. Later stages, the enemies have insane AA, which makes having aircraft carriers a bit redundant. a lot of late game damage will most likely be done by battleships, and you only use aircraft carriers for the utility, just as unicorns heal, or well, the ability to clear the screen of enemy projectiles. For instance, right here, I don't even have a level 100 gas cone, but she's doing just as fine as she needs to. That also comes into knowing what stage we're playing. Here in 3D, you can have a relatively under-leveled backline as long as you still have some DPS on them, because your backline does not need that much survivability to get through this. You really need frontline survivability, because a lot of the attacks that will be coming towards your fleet are going to be to your frontline, and exclusively basically going after your frontline. So backline tankiness is not necessarily a requirement. So one more battle, and we would have gotten 6. We can need the siren to come down into our submarine fleet, which we do. My current submarine fleet an attack has 6 charges on it. Don't be afraid to use submarine fleet, especially if you have an overpowered frontline, because that'll just help give your submarine fleet basically free XP, and then the other way around. Don't be afraid of using your submarine fleet if your submarine fleet is overpowered, because then it can help carry your Vanguard fleet if struggling. Dependent on your submarine fleet at all, because you can play the entire game without a submarine fleet. Same thing that you can play the entire game without me officers. And there's the boss stage. And this is where I'll play here. Now move your submarine fleet up to be in range of the enemy. I normally don't do this, but I will just this time because I'm recording. So because we have 2 heavy cruisers, this fleet isn't exactly the fast that would be hitting us otherwise because of our slow speed. Because we have a destroyer, our speed isn't the slowest, but definitely could be doing better. If here is the enemy. As I said at the beginning there, you don't have to worry about EMP shells coming out. You also don't have to worry about large amount of torpedoes coming out either. So you can probably jump in there and drop all of your torpedoes on them at the very beginning like that. Once they get down to around 20 bars of health is when I like to use my my submarines. And whenever you see those EMP shells, use your craft carrier if you have it to clear them out. Because you won't be able to use your aircraft carrier. Otherwise, if you get hit by the EMP shells, it's slightly a pain. And it's like it's completely obliterated. Ah, nice. And just like in my last video I was talking about, battleships getting top damage, as you can see there. that is the boss stage cleared out. Just a nice tip if you are going to be going um, to buy stuff for the from the exchange. The destroyer gun that you've could have gotten from here, to be exact, its actual name, I believe, is the Trin 130 millimeter main gun, B2LM. This is a very good destroyer gun. I recommend you buy this if you're going to be using destroyers a lot, of which your starter destroyer, whether that been Laffy, Javelin, or Z23, um, are really good and will really help carry you early game, especially if you retrofit them. So I would recommend you actually try to watch the retrofit over all other retrofits. And this gun is an amazing gun for them and an amazing gun for our destroyers. Really, if you have the points to buy this gun, I really recommend you do it because it will help you out just so much in this early game, and it's even good in the late game. This gun will not let you down if you buy it. The other stuff I recommend getting from are some of these golden crates. Though they contain gear that you could very much desperately use. This also isn't such a bad idea to get. It's pretty good. It's not the best cruiser gun, but it does its job, and it does its job well of dishing out good damage with above average reload. Actually, speaking of which, I'll go ahead and buy the last points that I need to construct it. Or things that I recommend you work on are these plates, because these plates are good for upgrading your gear that you probably get from the loot boxes here, or the tech packs. Cognitive chips, not so important. Meowth swords, also not very important. The blueprints are completely full resource, so you don't have to worry about that. Once again, this is the last day of the event, so I would, because it's going to be over at 2 a.m. Central Time, 3 a.m. Eastern Time tonight, to be exact, the 12th. And with it, try not to spend all of your cubes either, because Ryojo, or however you say her name, is going to be coming up, to be exact. I believe it was called Solomon Range, the Core Empire aircraft carrier, and she's going to be in event only ship. So, and I believe they said that she was going to have an event build. So I'd recommend saving at least some of your cubes to get the chance to buy her whenever the event was around. Well, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, hit a like, or don't. Let me know if you want to see more. I'll probably be doing more questions. Ask me down below. And make sure you join the storm. I'll have a, in the description, I'll leave a thing of how to join the storm, which is a joint Discord server where we play Hours Lane, Ruby and Midi Arena, and have our fun events. Bye.